bubble and you haven't got a care. Well, you're gonna be in trouble, cause we're gonna steal your air. Cause what you got is what we need, and all we do is dirty deeds. We're the space walls. Watch out, we're the space walls. We're the masters of space.
A picture is worth 1,000 words. So rather than just telling you the premise of this video, instead I will show you with these authentic photographs I took this morning. Here's Darth Vader distributing food to starving African children. Here's Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi plotting 9/11 with Bin Laden. Here's Darth Vader with Grand Moff Tarkin doing some important work for Shelterbox. And here's Han Solo and Chewbacca among their fellow jihadist Grey Wolves militia. And here's Santa Claus. But some of you might not have realised it's not actually Santa Claus, but Darth Vader. And he's giving away presents to starving young orphans. And here's Princess Leia crossing the Turkish border to join ISIS. For those of you who haven't figured it out already, there's more to Star Wars than you might realise. In this video, I will be correcting all the common misinterpretations people have about the film, and I'll explain exactly why the Empire are actually okay, and the so-called moderate rebels are completely evil.
Evil!
If you somehow aren't convinced that these photos I took aren't 100% authentic, I shall present you with an incredible testimony from my dog, whose name is Laughing Gravy. Here he is, everybody. Tell my audience these photos are authentic. Hello, Master. Listen, you stupid animal. You get a biscuit if you say to my audience that these photos are actually authentic. Biscuit. No. I want the testimony first, then you can have the biscuit. Biscuit. No. Ah, you little bastard! If you aren't convinced that these photos are authentic, then there's something wrong with you. For those of you who don't know, I'm an old man, and I'm 93, because today is my birthday. And on my birthday, I like to sit around and drink beer all day and watch television. Because I do that every other day, and I bloody enjoy it. Since it's a special day today, I'm going to watch a movie. And this time, it's a choice between Chinese torture chambers story and Star Wars. But I'll be watching Star Wars, because the other film might have coronavirus. I know it's a DVD, but I'm not taking any risks. Star Wars is an American film, so it might have obesity, but I can cram it quite easily into my DVD player. For those of you who somehow don't know, Star Wars is a space opera, but there aren't any singing fat ladies in it. No. Star Wars is about space terrorism. And what makes Star Wars stand out as a film is that the terrorists actually bloody win. They kill thousands of innocent people and idolize my stupid little kids, and it makes no bleeding sense. Some of you might be asking, who would make such a film? I will tell you. That person was none other than George Lucas. George Lucas is this strange man with a beard on the CIA watch list. He went all the way to Tunisia to make his film, and this is because he wanted the film to be set in a desert. And Tunisia has a lot of deserts, despite there being deserts in America, which are perfectly suitable locations. And what makes this production of Star Wars so suspicious is that he went all the way to some rat hole in the Middle East to make his film. If you ask me, I think he was radicalized over there, which is why he'd ideologically consider terrorists heroes. But he's also a skilled and crafty enough filmmaker to know exactly how to cover it up to the general audiences. Among the masses of dim-witted simpletons, there are some who are subliminally convinced to become terrorists. You remember Jihadi John? He watched Star Wars. Al-Baghdadi watched Star Wars as well. Most of the IRA definitely watched Star Wars. And if you ever wondered what went on in a GLA barracks, they were watching Star Wars. Okay, enough background information. It's time to actually get on with the film. It's already 9 o'clock and my pizza's just arrived. I'll go wash it up with some soapy water to get rid of any coronavirus. There we go. This is disgusting. Well, that's the last time I get anything from Domino's Pizza. Just give it to Laughing Gravy. You go, Laughing Gravy. Look at that. It didn't even hit the ground. Thank you, Master. Because Star Wars is a film about technology, I'll be using the telly remote to turn on the telly today, instead of walking over like I sometimes did in the past. Okay. Oh, bloody hell, I missed. Alright, I'll just use my slipper instead. Hehehe, I did it this time. My aim is the best.
Space. The final frontier.
Oh, bloody hell, it's the wrong film.
These are the voyages of the star.
Hey, I got it right this time. See those iconic paragraphs flying about in space? If that isn't Star Wars, I don't know what is. And then again, I can't imagine how difficult it'd be to traverse space with all those words flying about. You'd have to be an ace pilot. By the way, I can't actually read those words for you, so, you'd have to read them yourselves. I can't do everything for you. Now here we are, straight to the action with a car chase in space.
Space!
But because this is the future, we have spaceships instead of cars. The big spaceship belongs to the good guys, the Empire, whereas the small one has been hijacked by the terrorist scum, who are attempting to get away with stolen plans for the Empire's peacekeeping station called the Death Star. I know, the Death Star isn't exactly a peaceful name, but you can't put so much money into an awesome project and give it a silly name, like the Starship Enterprise, or the Sigma Harmonizer, or the girly spaceship thing. I don't watch that much sci-fi to give you examples, but just trust me, okay? You just simply can't. The terrorists are all jealous of how awesome the Death Star is, which is why they want to blow it up. Why, you may ask? Never mind why, they're just evil. The terrorists are led by a spoiled princess brat called Leia. The typical terrorist isn't a princess, which is what makes them so scary. They are sneaky and covert. Any one of the royal family could be a terrorist in disguise. Some of them don't even try to hide it. Where was I? Oh, that's right. Princess Leia and a band of scumbags are firing their lasers at the Empire, who are in pursuit. Despite such aggression from the terrorists, the Empire don't even retaliate, and they just press forward. Their spaceship is so robust that it repels all the attacks thanks to the expertise of Imperial engineering. Oh look, the terrorist engine just exploded. Stupid terrorists. That'll teach them not to acquire black market engines and just get proper Imperial made ones, which are super reliable and never explode. What are the terrorists gonna do now? By the looks of it, they're going to enact a stupid plan. You can't hide in the Empire's cargo bay, you stupid pillocks. The stormtroopers are gonna notice you.
I am too smart. I am too smart. I am too smart. I am too smart.
Speaking of the stormtroopers, it's their job to rescue all the hostages. They must bust in and get in front of the direct line of enemy firepower. Stormtroopers are trained to give ample warning shots, yet they somehow get a reputation for being bad shooters. This is propaganda that is spread by the terrorists that mock the Empire. But intelligent people like me, and possibly even you, know better than to fall for such obvious lies. In this situation, the stormtroopers have no choice but to stun the terrorists with their stun guns, to clear the way for their badass leader. Even though he has crippling asthma and has prosthetic limbs, he will march straight into the front lines to assist his stormtrooper comrades. He is handsome, he is tall, charismatic, and his name is Darth Vader. As you can clearly see, Darth Vader is the only person in the film who adheres to the coronavirus shutdown procedures. He wears a mask, he doesn't visit his kids, and he keeps a distance from other people. Unlike the terrorists who don't care who gets it. You can see for yourselves right here. Princess Leia fiddling with the dustbin. Do you have any idea how riddled with coronavirus dustbins are? Vader needs to perform his role of tracking down all the vile terrorist scum filth and sending them to prison where they belong, after a fair and free trial, of course. The Empire has a very robust justice system. Now to the next scene, where he uses his force powers to cure this guy's throat cancer. Yes, he had throat cancer, just like Batman.
Throat cancer.
Yes, you can't question someone who talks like Batman. You need to be able to understand what they're saying. Now, I know what you're thinking. He's not quite adhering to the social distancing rules at this point, but the terrorist keeps squirming away and he's not perfect, okay? Leave Vader alone. Alright, meanwhile, the wicked Princess Leia brat tries to hide her stolen Death Star plans in her robot dustbin, along with all her illegal drugs and porn. Robot dustbins are quite advanced in the future. Unfortunately, they can be reprogrammed by terrorists to do terroristy things. she orders the dustbin to go on a mission with her stolen Oscar to go to Tatooinistan and rendezvous with the terrorist general Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now that sounds like quite the terroristy name, doesn't it? I'll tell you more about Obi-Wan Kenobi when the time is right. Meanwhile, Princess Leia shoots another unarmed stormtrooper because she's evil. I can't quite remember if I mentioned that before, but I'll do so again because it's worth saying. Despite her struggle, she is apprehended by the authorities. Unfortunately, her dustbin and Oscar hijack the escape craft, and they blow up the other escape craft, so they're the only ones who can escape. See how the terrorists turn on each other as they scurry away from the authorities? And finally, as you can clearly see, the Empire gunners would never blow up an escape craft under any circumstances. It truly baffles me that some people say that the Empire are the villains, despite all this compelling evidence from the film that they are not so. The escape craft that was hijacked by the dustbin and its Oscar friend crashes straight into the desert of Tatooinistan, and as they scramble at the wreckage, they're immediately mobbed by hoodies. These aren't any hoodies, but dirty gremlin hoodies. Now, obviously, George Lucas and Steven Spielberg were buddies, and obviously Steven allowed George to borrow his gremlins for Star Wars. However, I don't know how he got them through Tunisian customs.
Pardon me, sir.
Oh, are you going to frisk us?
I haven't got time for that. I'm in charge of security, and so is my good friend, Mr. Laurel.
Yes, and so am I as well.
Anyway, if you're wondering what happens next, I'm sorry, but you'll have to watch part 2. I'm sorry for ending this abruptly, but I'm going to get myself a pickled onion sandwich. It's my birthday, and I can do what I like. Please remember to like and subscribe on all your Google accounts, because if you don't, it proves my point. And you can comment to say how much you agree with me. Thank you for watching.